Okay, Mississippi conservative Andy Gibson. I don't have to tell you that he's a Republican, but I will. Mississippi conservative Republican Andy Gibson, he's a GOP state rep in Mississippi, calls for the putting of gay people to death on his Facebook page. That's kind of mainstream, I guess, now for conservative Southern Republicans, isn't it, Lewis? It's par for the course.
Yeah, even if they're not admitting it, I'm sure it's a pretty mainstream idea.
He wrote, "There's been a lot of press on Obama's opinion on homosexual marriage. The only opinion that counts is God's. Of course, we live in a country where there is, in theory, separation of church and state, and,
right.
and what matters is the law, but apparently not. See Romans 1:26-28 and Leviticus 20:13. Any way you slice it, it's sin, not to mention horrific social policy." And then later on in this Facebook post, Gibson goes on to post a comment about homosexuality being unnatural and causing disease, and he says, according to Leviticus 20:13, if a man has sexual relations with a man as one does with a woman, both of them have done what is detestable. They are to be put to death. Their blood will be on their own heads. Now, by referring to this Bible passage, he is in fact calling for the killing of homosexuals. Maybe he is not by default saying specifically who should do that, but he's not apologizing that that's what Leviticus 20:13 says as far as he's concerned. And that's what he's doing. We have an official calling for the death of homosexuals.
All right. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Are you?
I'm not. And what's incredible is that, well, now he, of course, removed the offensive posts, and he went back and he said, you know, he's just not going to apologize for God's word, but that he is upset that people are offended. It's one of those, I'm upset people were offended, but listen, it's just God's word. You can't be mad at what God said.
Right. I wasn't trying to offend people.
No, of course not. Now, he, of course, like many Republicans who claim that the Constitution is the top law, they are putting biblical law over constitutional law. And it's very funny because we've been talking for so long now about how it's the conservatives that accuse progressives of not caring about the Constitution, so on and so forth. You know the drill. But it's really those on the right who are putting biblical law over the Constitution that are disparaging the Constitution by default.
Right. I mean, they're putting a good fictional story over what they claim they are experts on and what they claim governs the country, I guess, except for when it comes to social issues. I mean, in which case, when they can't find the examples they need in the Constitution, they have to resort to the Bible.
Sure.
They're interchangeable.
It's one or the other for many of these conservatives.
Yeah.
And of course, pulling quotes from Leviticus only to make points about homosexuality, but not about anything else, is so common. And why are Christians still quoting the Old Testament? I mean, Jesus said that he had come to fulfill law and the prophets, which meant that a Christian is supposed to follow the word of Jesus, not Leviticus. And we've had conservatives tell me that on the show. They say, wait, you're pulling stuff from the Old Testament. We don't follow the Old Testament anymore. Jesus said it is now only New Testament. What about following stuff from Leviticus where it points out that you should kill a bride if she's not a virgin? If you
only
can't
when
prove
it's
that.
convenient.
Only when it's convenient, of course, Natan. And that's no surprise, I think. The Old Testament counts only when it suits the conservative social agenda.
That's right. There are a lot of people who make the case for gay marriage and liberal social positions based on quotes from the Bible, just like this. It's just, it doesn't get as much attention.
Certainly. No question about it.